Released October 26th, 2021 for PC VR by developer and publisher Iron VR, with its original flat version released back on June 12th, 2018 by Movie Games. Lust for Darkness VR is one of those titles I've always wanted. It sat there on my Steam wishlist, waiting for a good enough sale price that I'd be comfortable pulling the trigger on. I'm always interested in experiencing these mature rated games, particularly in VR, not for the uncensored graphic sexual content for the sake of some twisted perversion, but to see if and how it's possible to create a game with said content but with substance. I've seen this before with Aragon. Was Lust for Darkness VR able to pull it off successfully as well?
Welcome among us. The Yelverton's mansion stands open before you.
Don't forget to check out the Lab Video Game TV, the TV series, in 25 countries across the Caribbean, only on Flow One. Download the official Flow Sports app to watch us on Flow, on the go. Now, much like my taste in movies, I prefer my video games to also be M-rated. Graphic violence, language, sexual content, and all of the other adult-only ingredients which create the perfect blend. An important part of this blend is substance. Gratuitous violence, sex, and profanities can only go so far, if anywhere at all. So, I don't watch porn, senseless slasher movies, and the like. It's gotta be mature content with, again, substance, rhyme and reason, a valuable, productive purpose, which is of course relative. This is what has led me on my never-ending quest to seek out games like Lust for Darkness VR. Oh yeah, just a reminder, VR is also my now preferred way to experience this wonderful hobby. So, the first thing that comes to mind when I think of Lust for Darkness is that movie, Eyes Wide Shut. But Eyes Wide Shut on crack. That's the vibe here. Secret societies, sex cults, demons, alternate dimensions, blood sacrifices, and so on. Other than strong, uncensored sexual content, this one pulls no punches on the graphic and bizarre content. There's an option to play a censored mode, but why'd I do something like that? The story here is fine for what it is, delivered in a subpar B-grade kind of way, but still gets the job done.
What are those signs? What is this place?
Your wife has gone missing for a spell. You begin to get these weird hints that she may still be around, reaching out to you. So you head off to this creepy mansion inhabited by these wealthy elite types, dabbling in some sinister dealings. And yeah, this is where the trail to your beloved leads you, so let the madness begin.
There are even more of them. I have a bad feeling about this.
In the audio department, Lust for Darkness VR holds up nicely. The score is fitting, all sound effects are in place, and with some decent B-movie voice acting, what's on offer here delivers well enough to keep you engaged.
Creation is an act of God. Who is God then? If not the creators of this world? Let us take a look around once again and ask a question.
The visuals are also well presented, going for that photorealistic look and feel. It's not there, but still has that realistic look over, let's say, some cartoony cel-shaded aesthetic. And this works well according to the overall vibe of Lust for Darkness. The characters are designed well, the environments also, with good lighting and an overall presentation that works well for this creepy Illuminati simulator.
Is this a dream? Everything is cold and alien.
When the experience changes from real world to otherworldly dimensions, the atmosphere transitions seamlessly. So for look and feel, Lust for Darkness receives a thumbs up. Over in gameplay, the adhesive that keeps any game together. The make or break point. For what this game is, basically a walking sim adventure horror game, the game design works. If this game started out the way it did, all mysterious, slightly slow-paced and eerie, then turned into some Resident Evil or Silent Hill-styled survival horror affair, I would not have liked it as much. The focus here is on mystery, exploration, thought-provoking revelations coupled with a series of what the fuck moments. On startup, we have enough settings here to satisfy the pickiest of players. We've got movement settings, general settings, graphic options, language, audio, VR controls, including rotation type, movement speed, and locomotion type. Like I said, this is a walking sim, so there really isn't much action, if any at all. By the time you reach near game's end, you do have a boss encounter of sorts, but this isn't action heavy at all. It's more completed by a series of defensive actions and not offensive, including a lot of running about coupled with some puzzle solving. Now, I have experienced a few walking sims where there really were no puzzles, just heavily story-driven with a lot of exploration and narrative, like Firewatch. But here in Lust for Darkness, they went in on the puzzles. The puzzles weren't particularly difficult either. What made them a bit tedious though was the game's overall approach to gameplay. Nothing seemed spelled out for you. Actually, this entire game leans more on the side of obscurity and vagueness. From the get-go, just leaving the house to get to the meat of the matter had me scratching my head for a minute.
Okay, fuck it, I'm going there.
The puzzles though, and the entire game isn't difficult. This is all just presented in a go figure it out with a zero hints kind of way. But once you figure things out, you'll see that in hindsight, it wasn't really that puzzling after all. There are also stealth areas. Now, stealth is a touchy thing in games. Stealth is only a good addition when executed flawlessly, or at least close to. I wasn't comfortable with the stealth areas here, but they weren't a chore either. And, as with the rest of Lust for Darkness, it was easy to not fail. There came a point where I deliberately got caught just to see what would happen.
This is your end!
Other than the vague puzzles I mentioned, where a couple had me scratching my head for a bit, like how to use a mask to see things that were not visible to the naked eye. The final boss encounter was where I experienced most difficulties, and after a few attempts, that all worked out as well.
You just need time.
Cut the bullshit. End it all.
That is the plan. I came to say goodbye.
Overall, Lust for Darkness VR exceeded my expectations. My expectations were not very high to begin with, but as with other games in this mature, somewhat taboo genre, I was certainly curious, and Lust for Darkness VR did not disappoint.
I don't really know who Willard Yelverton is. I only know he brings evil, and he has now breathed it into me. I've just found out that I have a child. I should be filled with love, but all I feel is pure, growing hatred, burning inside me delightfully like poison.
I'm always interested to see how developers handle adult-only content, and while there are clearly many games out there with the sole purpose of selling interactive, X-rated content with no substance at all, there are developers who create games like Eragon, House Party, and Lust for Darkness who understand that so much more can be done, and I appreciate these devs and applaud them for their efforts and outside-the-box creativity.
Be careful. If something happens to you, I'll never be able to forgive myself.
Amanda.
Here in Lust for Darkness VR, we have graphic depictions of nudity and sex, orgies, freaky statues, sex sacrifices, and a bunch of other things I can't find the words to describe. Should these things offend your sensibilities, then steer clear. Don't be that person who allows their curiosity to get the better of them, then start complaining, leaving bad reviews, or losing sleep simply because you got exactly what it said on the tin. Lust for Darkness VR is no masterpiece, but I didn't expect one. I got a decently designed, adults-only rated VR experience that was well worth its sale price, and I look forward to exploring more of these games in the near future. Check out the Lab Video Game TV, the TV series on Flow One in 25 countries across the Caribbean. only on Flow One. Download the official Flow Sports app to watch us on Flow on the go. Thank you for watching. If you like my content, feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, turn on notifications, and all that good stuff. Let's say on the other hand though, I found a way to piss you off with this one. Then hey, do what you gotta do. Dislike, unsub, leave a strongly worded diatribe in the comments section. Whatever it takes to make you feel vindicated, partner. Either way, I won't hold it against you. Our game is never over.
Willard was right. Let's fuck.